Hey everyone, it's Timid Falconite. I'm back with another episode of Road to 1K. And in this episode, it's going to be a Hawke mirror match versus Eagfidge on the map Flame Wreathed. And it's going to be a tier 1 match, so... Well, I guess I'll just take a look at the map preview here for a second. It's kind of a weird map. So what you have here is... You've got... It's a 4 base map. So you've got the 1 base and then the 3 bases over here. You've got a couple of like islands north and south with a couple of cities on them, and then you have this weird shoal area in the center that you can just send black boats down the center of, or landers even possibly. But honestly, I feel like because it's a standard map, you're never gonna have enough like money for that to come into play. I do have a little bit of a second turn advantage overall based on just the overall stuff. Obviously 53% with Hawke compared to 51 with Von Bolt. Those are the top 2 in tier 1 usually, so yeah. I mean, this is a 2 comm tower map, so Javier is actually banned. But there's a reason why he has a 67% win rate. It's because there are 2 comm towers. And let's see. Sasha actually isn't insignificant here either. She actually has a better go of it than Hawke. And I think the reason for that is that little extra bit of income makes it so that because day to day you're going to have 42, 52, 54. So that's, if you're at par with your opponent, you're gonna have 27k each, whereas Sasha's gonna have like 29, 30-ish k. So that is a bit of a significant difference, because it's basically enough to like tank spam plus a battlecopter or like an expensive unit every other turn, and Sasha can get those a little bit easier, and basically make sure that she always has infantry coming out as well. That being said, this is a Hawke mirror, so it's going to come down to a little bit of how much firepower you have. Well, I guess because there's 2 comm towers on this map, it doesn't really matter, honestly. And well, that's actually part of why Von Bolt isn't the best on this map, while Sasha can carry a little bit, is because it is a 2 comm tower map. So that does give Sasha the firepower she needs in order to wall break, whereas if you're going into a Hawke versus Von Bolt situation, or even a Von Bolt versus Von Bolt situation, or even a Sasha versus Von Bolt situation, you are going to be able to wall break against Von Bolt a lot of the time. So that's why he's a little bit weaker on this map. In addition to it being a pretty high income, so obviously Sasha and Hawke are a little bit better because of that. And honestly, I don't know. But there's a reason why it's not like the highest ranked map in the world and it isn't in Global League. Well, there's 2 reasons. One is that 3% second turn advantage. The other reason is like this open area in the center here. Like, I don't know what to do with it. It's a little bit too easy for you to just advance on your opponent's stuff, and then there's also like it's a 4 base map, so I mean, it's an interesting map because you do have the little island here, so you are forced to build a transport unit to grab that, and you have enough money to spam lines of tanks and stuff. It's just because it's so open, I feel like it's pretty much always going to come down to whoever gets the first engagement. Oh, the other thing about this map is that I think they banned, let me double check. So yeah, they banned battleships on this map as well, which, honestly, that could have been, because it's so high income, that could have been an interesting gimmick in this map, is just having battleships available at these little port areas and then playing around that. Especially because that makes this central area a bit more, well, I mean, with the open stuff, it makes it even, I don't know, that might make it even more cancerous. But because, honestly, to be fair, because the ports are on your weaker side here, well, I guess you can spam fighters out of here to deal with bombers and battlecopters even, maybe. But that could possibly cause some interesting interactions. The only other issue is, like, the airport's, like, way far away from the ports, so that's something that's interesting on this map. Anyways, let's go ahead and get started with the replay here. I'm going to double check that I have the right media source. Yep, cool. So, starting out here, we're doing some basic infantry builds. And yeah, I have to base skip here, but at the end of the day, it's not really going to matter whether you base skip there or not, because the money and the unit count advantage that you'll get by base skipping is about the same as you would get by not base skipping. So, because it's going to take you an extra turn to get to this city, like with that guy. So, I guess maybe you could argue that you could maybe get a tank out a little bit earlier, but like at the end of the day, it's not going to matter at all. This map is, well, let me double check the map analysis. It's just mainly tanks, right? Well, actually, to be fair, 18%. I feel like that's a little bit less than normal. Lots of neo tanks and medium tanks, I guess. Well, I don't know. Maybe. But as you can see here, we're starting out with a tank spam a little bit here. So I have one from my weak side that I'm bringing out here, and then just doing infantry from the rest of my bases. So yeah, so far just he's got a tank chain coming out of there. I'm probably gonna retaliate with a similar thing going on over here on my weak side. And because we don't have that much money quite yet, it's not like this is gonna be something that's gonna matter all too much to start out with. As you can see here, massive mobs of infantry coming from my weak side here. Well, my strong side here. Actually, to be fair, him going for the tanks on the strong side that is causing me to have a lot less of an infantry presence on my weak side here. So that's okay. Well, anyways, I think I just keep on tank chaining here on the right here for a little bit. At the end of the day, I'm gonna get all this stuff. Oh, I go for a battlecopter actually. Interesting. Yeah, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna be able to get most of these properties with the infantry. Eventually, it's just gonna be a matter of how quickly I can move around my infantry blob with the left. All right, so he's going for a battlecopter here as well. And I'm moving in with my units as well here. So I'm trying to space out his tanks a little bit here, keeping everything like sort of guarded. I've got the anti-air ready to move in next turn, so it'll be able to zone out my opponent's battlecopter as well. And I'm also moving in my units to sort of try and counteract the tanks that he's got moving in over here. He's moving kind of aggressively over here against this city. Well, actually, to be fair, I probably shouldn't have gone for that city. It's a little bit of an overextension, honestly. Even with the strong side, weak side dynamic here, I just don't have enough units available to back me up there. So I don't think I should have gone for that capture ultimately here. He's going transport copter so that he can go for these two properties, I believe. He's got a anti-air here to ward off my battlecopter as well. So I'm just moving back more into the center now. And then the other thing that I'm going to have to worry about here is just the infantry presence, right? So he's got a lot of infantry on both sides, honestly. It's more like evenly dispersed for him. Whereas all of my infantry is concentrated on my strong side right now. So I need to spread them out a little bit at this point because there are a lot of objectives on this map that I sort of want to keep control of, right? And as you can see here, he's just threatening this area over here. He's going to be threatening the comm tower there as well pretty soon. So I'm going to need to worry about that. But he's also coming with his tanks here as well to back up his infantry. So already we're seeing a couple problems. But at the end of the day, it's probably like not the end of the world. I do go in here, which is a little bit aggressive, seeing as he's got tanks like everywhere here. So this tank plus battlecopter plus, like, he can basically take these two tanks out for free if he wants to, especially considering he's got this anti-air in the back. Now I do have some units in the area to like counterplay that a little bit, but it is a little bit aggressive of me to move in like that with the tanks, especially considering that was just against an infantry. So he's gonna move in here like that, take out my infantry, have the healthy infantry start capping down, but he's also threatening to cap on my comm tower next turn. He's moving in with tanks, taking me off of the city there. Taking out my infantry there as well. Not even going for the first strike there because I do have these air units in the vicinity, so it's not like the best move for him at this point. He's actually falling back pretty heavily with the tank here. Oh, you know, I'll bet it's because he wants to stay out of range of my tanks that are moving in over here. I imagine that's why. I mean, he's building a medium tank here as well. Because I am spamming light units a little bit, to be fair. I am ahead in income for the time being, but he's about to flip that. And then he, for whatever reason, I decided to just leave this guy in range of his battlecopter, so he decides to move in with his own battlecopter to get a first strike there. So basically, that's a trade for both of the battlecopters, making them both sort of useless at this point, because I can just kill with the anti-air. But I would say that a battlecopter for a battlecopter isn't like even that bad of a trade, especially considering that now, like, at this point now, his medium tank sort of has free reign over it in this area, and his tanks sort of have free reign in this area as well a little bit. So still moving in with my infantry on the left here, moving in a little bit here. So my infantry are going to be able to sort of like shore up in this area, but I build this guy on the weak side, I guess, to match his medium tank on his weak side, but like, if I got battlecopter medium tank, I guess this can be to sort of counteract his light vehicles here and the anti-air as well. But by doing this, I don't really have an answer to his medium tank on my strong side for the time being. So yeah, as you can see here, he's going in for the attack there, and this is like just out of range of the airport with the battlecopter. So unfortunately, he's going to be able to tilt the... well, unfortunately for me, he's going to be able to tilt the firepower bonuses here in a second, and that's that's never going to be good for me. Especially considering that all of my infantry are like out of range of contesting that as well. Like, I could do with the income disparity for a little bit, like 1,000 income isn't like that big of a deal. Oh, he's even base skipping here. So that he can medium tank chain. But the fact that he's got the firepower advantage as well is going to hurt me a lot here. So I'm moving with my tanks. Start capping the harbor, actually. Which I'm being I think I'm getting a little bit desperate here. Just a little bit. I decided not to move in with my tank here because like he'd be able to just cycle this way with the medium tank and then contest that capture anyways. So I'm gonna leave this guy here to, well, actually mainly to deal with the battlecopter here. I believe is what I'm going for. If I do build a neo tank to deal with the 2 medium tanks that he has in this area. So I'm pecking up that way as well. So he decides to move in there this turn. He gets a very good push here, and then I shouldn't have left my battlecopter so close because he does actually just manage to take it out with his anti-air. So it's a big loss for me right now. Actually, that's a major loss. He gets a good push against my units in the center here as well, and honestly, things aren't looking that great. So yeah, I do get a little bit of a counter push going here though. So moving in like that as well. So like that, and then I have this guy on just out in the open there, which may come into play in a second here. We'll see. So he moves in against the infantry here, starts capping my... Oh, I actually did manage to take that. Interesting. But yeah, he pops a Black Storm, pushes in here, actually, like, takes out my Neo tank because of Black Storm. Which is a little bit embarrassing for me. I mean, he just keeps on capturing stuff. So at this point, like... I mean, I can keep on playing if I want to here, but like he did so much damage with that Black Storm. That's how you sort of want to pop Black Storm. So I have to resign there. Oh wait, did I? No, I didn't resign. Hold on. Not quite yet. I do a little bit of damage before doing that, I believe. Yeah. So I resigned. And obviously, it's because like. Just look at that. I am ahead quite significantly in income right now, actually. Honestly. So there is an argument for me to not resign there, but he's like got an extra comm tower over me. He's got honestly, to be fair, he doesn't actually have that much as far as like unit count goes, because I did just get a good Black Storm off on him. So as far as the value goes, we're actually pretty close. We're only like 10k apart for the time being. So so I could interrupt that like with this guy with a battlecopter. I could probably interrupt that pretty easily. This guy, I'm not sure if I would get to keep, but are you sure that I have this much income right now? Because, well, let's see here. You have everything right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, if you have everything right now, is that I'm about to flip this over, potentially. And maybe I wouldn't get it ultimately, because he does have a lot of vehicles in this area. Like, he's got tanks, plenty. He's got some medium tanks as well. So ultimately, maybe he would have flipped... I wouldn't be able to get this. But at the end of the day, I did get the second Black Storm up, and that's pretty strong in and of itself. So what I could do is just do medium tank. Oh, I think I see why the issue that I'm running into here is that I just don't have that much money to throw around here. But honestly, I don't even need to throw that much money around here, if I'm being perfectly honest. So he's going to be draining a lot of his funds next turn anyway for just repairs. I get a medium tank out here. Yeah, I get a medium tank out here. It can start to contest this area. I can just start spamming out medium tanks, and then I'll like have enough money as well to do a good amount of stuff here, honestly. So I think it's at the end of the day here. I think this actually isn't that bad for me. I might have, honestly, looking back at this, I feel like this might have been a little bit premature. Because I can't always come back from this. I can just build medium tank, infantry, infantry, infantry. Right. Push in here with the battlecopter. I don't know what I'd do with the medium tank here. Probably send it... Well, I don't know. I might just take out some of the infantry here, even, because that is being the bane of my existence, is all this infantry here. And because of the repairs that he's going to be taking next turn, he doesn't really have anything in this area to contest my medium tank, even. So, looking back on it, maybe it's a bit premature. I think it would come down mainly to whether he'd be able to break through my infantry line over here, which I believe would be relatively possible. So I can just do infantry there, infantry, infantry there. All right. I'm actually gonna move planner this out a little bit. Where are you? So apply that. So get you out of the way. Like we'll have something like that going on. Oh, and I did get this capture actually, interestingly enough. Well, at the end of the day, well played match from my opponent anyways. Yeah, the thing that was very annoying from his part though, and that's partially annoying on this map and in particular, and I think that what gave my opponent the advantage for most of this game was simply just him starting the tank chain over here. And what that caused to happen here was me to respond with tank chain of my own, but what that caused was it thinned out my infantry numbers in this area, which made it very easy for him to take these properties here and just advance with his infantry here. And then I did a little bit of that on my part as well here, because with the infantry as well, but because he'd so it's sort of a give and take scenario, I guess, a little bit. But yeah, at the end of the day, I think this was actually contestable. So maybe I shouldn't have resigned there. Oh well. You win some, you lose some. Anyways, that's gonna be about all for today's match. Let's see. If you're interested in what I'm gonna be doing next week, it's gonna probably be... Let's see here, what's on the agenda? It's gonna be probably this Assassins match. Yeah, it'll be in this Tier 4 Assassins Fog match, so that's what's gonna be on the agenda for next week. If you enjoyed, go ahead and like and subscribe and all that other nonsense. I will see you guys in the next one. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, everyone.